Welcome back to the channel. They've got no problem identifying what it is a game is about. They've got no problem creating these trailers. They've got no issue identifying who their audience is and what that audience wants to see when they make these trailers. A gritty, realistic battlefield, fighting over resources, a world ravaged by war, famine, and you get a sense that that is what the game is going to be about. That's the audience. They've built up an audience over the years, and now that they have that audience, it's almost like there's a disconnect, and this isn't a problem inherent to Battlefield. All of these big multiplayer shooters have the same problem, and it isn't a problem. This is something that they're doing intentionally. They've got a property, they've got an IP, it had an identity, it has a user base, but all they see is dollar signs. All they see is monetization. And how do you monetize? What do? Do you come up with creative ways to do it? Or do you just copy other games that are successful? And maybe those other games tonally have nothing to do with your game, with your property, or with what your audience expects. But that doesn't matter. We're just gonna copy. So what do? We have ridiculous dance moves, ridiculous one-liners at the end of matches. Think about fighting in a futuristic battlefield where resources are scarce. There's this horrific weather pattern happening. Everyone is fighting for survival. And then at the end of the match, you do this ridiculous dance or you have this one-liner because, you know, Fortnite does it and it's successful. Fortnite is an apple. The people in charge of Fortnite know it's an apple. When you bite into Fortnite, it tastes like an apple. It's never going to taste like an orange or a tangerine. It's a fucking apple. And that's why it's successful, because the audience wants to eat an apple and they give it to them. Battlefield is a watermelon, and then it wants to be a tangerine, but it really wants to taste like a cantaloupe at some times, because wherever the money is, that's what they're going to do. Even if thematically it doesn't match anything at all with the property that we're selling to an audience. It doesn't matter if it even makes sense. We're just going to do it, and that's where you're seeing it. Now, you can be Santa Claus. Think about that. Think about the boardroom meeting where they said, you know, Battlefield 2042, what can we do to monetize it? Microtransactions. I know, Santa Claus. Think about that for a second. How does that make sense for Battlefield? It makes sense in Fortnite because Fortnite's ridiculous, and they've established that it's ridiculous. Battlefield's already been established. It's almost like they hate the audience that they have. They want that audience, and they have no problem catering to that audience when they make these trailers. Who are they talking to in this trailer? Are they talking to people that want to dance around on a battlefield as Santa Claus when they made this? Of course not. They know exactly who the audience is. They know how to scratch that itch when they want to. But then when they've got you, they're pissed off because they've got a property that's about battling. They've got a property that's about war. And how do you monetize war? How do we take a class system and make soldiers realistic and monetize it? Let's just copy. Let's just make Santa Claus. Next up, we can have the Easter Bunny. We can have tanks with reindeers on them. Let's just do it because who cares? The audience really doesn't care. It's all about the fun that we're having. It's not even about winning. It's not even about objectives anymore. It's about Harry and Sally jumping off of a roof, activating their parachute. A jet goes by. The jet wash pulls Harry into a building. They both survive. Remember how much fun we had? Yeah, we lost the entire match, but it doesn't matter. It's just about the fun we had along the way. And they're sitting at the table saying, Fortnite has Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters just came out. Why can't we have Ghostbusters in Battlefield? Because it doesn't make sense. It's a war. There's this horrific thing going on. The audience wants to play in a battlefield. How do the Ghostbusters fit into that? But monetization. Let's do it. Let's not work hard to create things that match the theme and the tone of our game. Let's copy what works in other games, even though those games, again, have nothing to do with the themes that our game is built around. Now, this isn't a problem that's inherent to Battlefield. You're seeing this with a lot of these big shooters, these big multiplayer-centric shooters that have to monetize over a long period of time. Running around mindlessly booming and banging with your friends may be fun, but don't be upset when they do not give you any content that matches anything that you're doing in the game. There is no theme, there is no tone anymore to these games. There isn't even a DNA to these games anymore. These games can morph into anything at any time. They don't have to even make sense, because it's all about getting you to play and play and play, because the longer you play it, the more chance there is that you're going to spend money on something, even if we allow you to unlock things through gameplay. You play for 9,000 hours and you can unlock Santa Claus. However, you can pay right now for Santa Claus, or in that 9,000 hours that you've been playing to try and unlock something, there's a greater chance that you'll spend money if we make it 9,000 hours to unlock something. You see, we can say that you don't have to pay to unlock any of these things. You can do it all through the gameplay. However, it's going to take you 70 years to do it. And in that 70 years, you may stick it out just to get all that stuff for free, but the chances that you're going to spend money on something else increase the longer you're playing. Even Fortnite has an audience. It's a lot broader than Battlefield, but it's an audience. There are people that don't play Fortnite. It seems like Battlefield and all these big multiplayer shooters, they don't want the audience that they have. They don't want the audience that they've built up over the years. They want a different audience, one that's willing to spend money on anything, because it gives them a larger pool of consumer to monetize to, and that's just not going to work. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.